fell for my roommate's older sister after she moved in temporarily. She's older, wiser, and completely off-limits according to the roommate's rules. But hiding sparks in a small apartment becomes impossible. Okay, so throwaway account, obviously, because my roommate and a bunch of our friends know my main. I'm a 27-year-old guy. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with my roommate, Ethan, who's 26. We've been friends since college, and we've got this easy, dumb, brother-type dynamic. Trash talk over video games, arguing about who left dishes in the sink, ordering way too much takeout. It's comfortable, predictable, and for the most part, we've always had one golden rule. No messing around with each other's family. Ever. It started as a joke in college. One guy in our friend group hooked up with another guy's sister. It blew up spectacularly, and we were all front row for the drama. After that, Ethan and I looked at each other and were like, yeah, we're never doing that. So that's the context. That's the backdrop. Now here's where I admit I broke the rule. And it wasn't just, oops, one drunken mistake. I full-on fell for his older sister. So Ethan's sister, let's call her Hannah, is 31. I'd met her a few times at holidays and birthdays. She lives in another city, about 4 hours away. I always kind of knew her as this distant, put-together adult in a way I didn't feel like an adult yet. She was the cool older sister growing up. The high school legend. Cute, popular, always rushing somewhere. By the time I met her, she was already in her responsible professional era. Nice clothes, good job in marketing, always seemed busy. Our interactions were minimal, polite, surface level. She'd ask how work was. I'd ask how her job was. She'd tease Ethan, we'd all eat. That was it. I remember thinking she was attractive, sure, but it was like, off-limits attractive. Like appreciating a painting behind glass. Pretty but not for you. Fast forward to earlier this year. Our landlord decides he's selling the building, which means our rent is going up. A lot. Like, do I really need both kidneys? Kind of increase. Ethan and I work in tech and design, so we're not broke, but we're also not, let's casually throw an extra $700 at rent every month. Rich. We're stressing about it. Looking at listings that are either tiny or ugly or way across town. And I'm ready to settle for a studio where I can hear my neighbor breathe through the walls. Then one night, Ethan comes home with this weird look on his face. Like someone dropped a morally complicated gift in his lap. He goes, okay, so, I talked to my sister today. I'm like, did she buy us a house? Please tell me she bought us a house. He rolls his eyes. No, idiot. But she might want to move in with us. Temporarily. He explains. Hannah's company just opened a branch in our city. They want her here for at least 6 months, maybe longer. She needs a place fast. Doesn't want to sign some insane lease until she knows if it's permanent. Our rent is going up, she needs somewhere to land. Win-win. I shrug. Okay, cool. Let's do it. He hesitates. Dude, my sister. Can you be normal? I laugh. Because what else am I supposed to do? I've always been normal around your sister. He gives me that squinty look. I mean it. No jokes. No flirting. No whatever. The rule stands. And we both say it together, half joking, half serious. No messing with each other's family. We shake on it. And in that moment, I genuinely believed it would be fine. The day she moves in, I come home from work and the apartment already feels different. There are boxes stacked by the door, shoes neatly lined up, and the smell of something floral in the air. Not the usual pizza and fabric softener vibe. I hear voices from the hallway, so I walk in, and there she is, Hannah, in our kitchen. Her hair's up in a messy bun. She's wearing leggings and an oversized sweater, and she's barefoot, unpacking mugs like she's been here forever. She looks softer than I remember, less corporate, more real. She turns, sees me, and smiles. Hey, you must be the infamous roommate. I awkwardly hold up the grocery bags in my hand like a peace offering. And you must be the rent-stabilizing sister. She laughs, and it's this warm, easy sound that fills the room. Happy to be of service. That first night feels almost cozy. We eat takeout together, the three of us, squeezed around our too small table. She asks questions about our jobs, the city, our favorite spots. She tells us stories about her old place, her office drama, the insane neighbor who used to fight with her plants. Nothing flirty, nothing weird, just nice. But underneath it all, there's this awareness humming in the background. She's here. She's living here. And the unspoken contract in my head changes from Ethan's sister to the woman sleeping in the room 15 feet from mine. At first, it's little things. I start to notice her morning routine. I'm usually up early, sitting half awake at the counter with my laptop, pretending to be productive. She walks in, hair still damp from the shower, in an oversized t-shirt and shorts, yawning, making coffee. And we talk. Not about big stuff, just life. She complains about early meetings. I complain about broken code. One morning, she sits down across from me, stares at my screen, and goes, "Is this what you stare at all day? No wonder you're weird." I joke back, "Is this what you wear to meetings? No wonder your boss likes you." The second I say it, I feel this jolt of, oh no, that sounded flirty. But she just laughs and throws a sugar packet at me. Still safe. Still normal. Then there's the first real shift. It's a Friday night. Ethan's out with coworkers, some team happy hour. I stayed in because I was exhausted and honestly a little broke from impulsively buying concert tickets. I'm on the couch, half watching a movie, when Hannah comes in, looking frustrated, drops her bag on the floor, and just sighs. Long day, ask. She kicks off her shoes and flops down on the other end of the couch. Like we've done this 100 times. You have no idea. They moved the deadline again, and I swear my boss thinks urgent means I just remembered this existed. We start talking, really talking, about work pressure, about feeling like you're always a little behind where you thought you'd be by this age, about how weird it is that everyone online seems to be either wildly successful or a total disaster, and we're just in the middle. At some point, she asks, do you ever feel like you're just living sideways? Like you're waiting for your real life to start? I look at her, and something heavy settles in my chest, because yeah, I do, more than I admit to anyone. We talk until the movie's credits are long over and the streaming service is like, are you still there? At one point, she tucks her legs up under her and leans against the arm of the couch, facing me fully, like I'm the only thing in the room worth focusing on. And that's when I notice it. I'm not thinking of her as Ethan's sister anymore. I'm thinking of her as Hannah, this funny, self-aware, slightly anxious person who gets me in a way most people don't. I go to bed that night with my heart beating too fast and this treacherous thought worming its way in. Oh no, I'm in trouble. From there, little moments start piling up. One afternoon, she's in the kitchen, trying to open a stubborn jar. She's making this frustrated grunt and mumbling something about stupid lid, stupid arms. So I walk over, take it gently from her hands, and open it. Her fingers brush mine for a second as I pass it back, and I feel that electric, stupid movie moment spark. She smirks. Show off. Another time, a thunderstorm hits late at night. I'm awake, scrolling on my phone, when there's a soft knock on my door. I open it, and she's standing there, looking almost embarrassed. Hey, sorry. Do you have like an extra charger? Mine died and my phone's at 2%. I hand her my spare, and she lingers in the doorway, looking past me at my messy room. Wow, this is chaotic, she says, but she's smiling. We start talking again. Just standing there, me leaning against the doorframe, her in the hall, while rain pounds against the windows. We joke about childhood, about her and Ethan's parents, about how he used to cry when they took his toy cars away. Somewhere in the conversation, she laughs and puts a hand on my forearm for balance because she's laughing so hard she almost doubles over. Such a casual touch. Just a sisterish gesture, probably. But my brain doesn't register it that way. My brain registers it as, I want this. I want more of this. This feels too good. And then the guilt kicks in. Because through all of this, Ethan is right there. Our lives are woven together. He and I still play video games in the living room. We still argue about whose turn it is to take the trash out. He still teases me mercilessly about my terrible taste in cereal. And now, layered on top of all that, is the secret. I am falling, slowly, steadily, helplessly, for his sister. He trusts me. He trusts her. And I'm starting to feel like a liar just by existing. So, I do what any emotionally stunted adult does. I try to fix it by avoiding it. I pull back. I stop lingering in the kitchen in the mornings. I keep my bedroom door closed more. I say I'm busy when she invites me to watch something. When she tells a story at dinner, I laugh, but I look down, not at her. And of course, she notices. One evening, Ethan's out again, and I'm holed up in my room pretending to be very invested in my work. There's a soft knock at my door. Yeah. The door cracks open and Hannah peeks in. Hey, can I come in? My stomach drops because my room is a mess and also I'm actively trying not to feel things. But I nod. She steps in, closing the door behind her, and sits on the edge of my desk chair, spinning it slightly back and forth with her foot. So, she says, drawing out the word, did I do something to make you mad at me? My heart jumps. What? No. Why? She raises an eyebrow. Because you've been acting weird, like I have some contagious disease. Did I overstep? Was I too? I don't know. Around. I scramble for a safe explanation. No, it's not that. I've just been busy. Work's been insane. She doesn't buy it. Aha. Because I've seen you scroll TikTok for 40 straight minutes. So I know what busy looks like for you. I laugh despite myself, and she smiles, but it doesn't quite reach her eyes. Then she sighs. Listen, if me moving in is too much, I can start looking for my own place sooner. I don't want to mess things up for you guys. The idea of her leaving hits me like a punch. I hear the panic in my own voice when I say, maybe too quickly, no, don't do that. You're not messing anything up. It's actually been really nice having you here. She studies my face, like she's searching for something. Then what is it? And in that moment, I realize I'm at a crossroads. I can keep lying, keep pretending this is all in my head, or I can tell the truth and blow everything up. I chicken out. I'm just bad at juggling people and work. It's not you. I promise. She lets out a slow breath, still looking unconvinced, but she doesn't push. Okay, she says softly. If you say so. She stands up to leave, then pauses at the door and turns back. For what it's worth, I've really liked getting to know you, and not just as Ethan's roommate. Then she's gone, and I'm left sitting there, staring at the door, feeling like I just dodged a bullet and stepped into a trap at the same time. Things kind of settle into this weird, almost normal rhythm again. We're careful. We don't sit too close on the couch. We avoid being alone in the kitchen for too long. There are no more late-night door-frame conversations during thunderstorms. But the tension doesn't go away. It just goes silent. I catch her looking at me sometimes when she thinks I'm not paying attention. I see the way her smile lingers a second too long when I say something stupid. And I know, with this sinking, inevitable clarity, whatever I'm feeling, this crush, this connection, it's not one-sided. Then comes the night everything tips. Ethan's company gets hit with layoffs. He's not laid off, thank God. But two of his closest coworkers are. He comes home quiet and pale, drops his bag, and goes straight to his room. Hannah and I exchange a look, and she follows him. I hear muffled voices, the low hum of sibling comfort. At some point I heat up some food, leave a plate outside his door, and retreat to the living room. A couple of hours later, Hannah joins me. She looks tired. She sinks onto the couch next to me, not leaving much distance this time. "He's asleep," she says quietly. "He always shuts down when he's overwhelmed." We sit in silence for a while, the TV flickering in front of us with some reality show I'm not really watching. Then she says out of nowhere, "Can I ask you something?" My chest tightens. "Yeah, sure." She turns to face me, tucking one leg under herself. Her expression is open, but there's a nervousness there I haven't seen before. "Why did you really start avoiding me?" My throat goes dry. I try to dodge. "I told you work, life." She cuts me off. "Please don't do that. Don't give me the version you'd tell your boss. Just talk to me. I can tell when you're not saying what you mean." I look at her, really look at her, at the faint lines by her eyes from laughing, the way her hair has fallen out of its messy bun, the softness in her gaze and the tension in her shoulders. And suddenly, I am so tired of lying. I exhale. "Because I like you," I say. "Too much." The words hang in the air, heavier than I expected. Her eyes widen, but she doesn't look surprised. More like relieved and terrified at the same time. I keep going because now that I've started, I can't stop. I try to ignore it. I try to be normal. But you're here all the time and we talk and you get me in this way that I don't even know how to describe. And every day it got harder not to, I don't know, want more. I let out a shaky laugh. I didn't want to be that guy, the roommate who hits on his friend's sister. So I pulled back. Because if I didn't, I was going to screw everything up. Silence. Then she whispers, "You're not the only one." My heart stops. "What?" She looks down at her hands, twisting them in her lap. "I kept telling myself it was just because you were kind and funny and easy to talk to. But then I realized I was looking forward to hearing your footsteps in the hallway. Or the way you check if I made it home safe when I'm out late. Or how you listen when I rant about work like it's the most interesting thing you've ever heard." She looks up at me, eyes shining. And I thought, this is bad. This is not what I'm supposed to feel. We sit there, facing each other, our confession hanging between us like a lit fuse. Then, almost at the exact same time, we both say, "Ethan is going to kill us." We laugh, and it's this broken, helpless sound, halfway between humor and panic. Because underneath all of this is him, the guy who trusted me, the guy who made me promise. We don't kiss that night. I know that sounds like a cop-out in a story like this, but it's the truth. We sit there, close enough that I can feel the warmth from her leg against mine, but we don't touch. Not really. We talk instead. About what this would mean. About how messy it could get. About the risk. We don't make any promises. We don't create a plan. We just acknowledge it. "I don't want to sneak around," she says quietly. "I did that in my 20s. It never ends well." "Me neither," I say. "I don't want to lie to him. But telling him right now?" She winces. "While I'm still living here, while his job is a mess. It feels cruel." She's right. Timing is a disaster. So we decide, if you can call it a decision, to do nothing. For now, we go to bed in separate rooms, dragging our feelings behind us like heavy luggage. The next few weeks are surreal. It's like we've peeled back a layer of reality. Now, every look, every joke, every brush of fingers in the kitchen is charged with this silent understanding. I want you. You want me. We are pretending not to. We're careful not to be obvious around Ethan. We don't linger alone if he's home. We change the subject when the conversation gets too personal. But when he's not around, it's harder. One evening, he's on a business trip overnight. It's just me and Hannah in the apartment. We order food and put on some random movie. We sit at opposite ends of the couch at first, but slowly, over the course of 2 hours, the distance shrinks. A shared blanket here, a passing of the popcorn bowl there. Our shoulders brush. Neither of us moves. At some point, she leans her head back and sighs. "This sucks," she mutters. "What does?" I ask, even though I know. She turns her head to look at me, eyes searching my face. "Wanting something you know you shouldn't have." I swallow. Yeah, it really does. The space between us feels razor thin. It would be so easy. So easy to reach out, to close the gap, to let this become something we can't take back. And I want to. More than I've wanted anything in a long time. But in my head, I hear Ethan's voice. No messing with family. I see his face if he walked in on us like this. So instead, I stand up abruptly, nearly knocking over the popcorn. I'm gonna get some water, I mumble, fleeing to the kitchen like a coward. I grip the edge of the counter, taking deep breaths, trying to calm the storm in my chest. A moment later, I hear her footsteps behind me. She stops in the doorway. You're not the only one trying to be good, you know? She says softly. I turn around, and she's standing there, arms wrapped around herself, like she's cold. I know, I say. I know. We just stand there, staring at each other, both caught in this impossible balance between desire and loyalty. And then she says something that's been stuck in my head ever since. If this were anyone else, she whispers. If you were just some guy I met at a bar, I wouldn't hesitate. My heart aches. Yeah, I say. Me neither. Here's the thing nobody tells you about forbidden feelings. It's not the dramatic, reckless moments that break you. It's the quiet, almost moments. The pause before a hug that never happens. The way your hand twitches toward theirs and stops. The words you swallow instead of say. We never cross the line physically. We never kiss. We never hook up. We never sneak into each other's rooms. But emotionally, we're already on the wrong side of the border. I find myself thinking about her at work, wondering how her day is going, checking my phone, hoping for a meme or a text. When she laughs at something I say, I feel 10 feet tall. When she seems distant, I overthink it for hours. And all the while, Ethan is right there. One night, he and I are out at a bar and he says, half drunk, "Man, I'm really glad you're cool with Hannah staying with us. She really needed the support. I trust you, dude." That word, trust, hits me like a freight train. Because he does. And I am not being fully honest with him. I laugh it off, clink glasses, and swallow down the guilt like cheap beer. So where am I now? Hannah's still living with us, at least for the next couple of months while her job situation solidifies. Ethan still doesn't know. There hasn't been any big confession scene or dramatic blow-up. From the outside, we look like 3 adults sharing an apartment. Normal, functional, boring. Inside, it's not that simple. I'm in love with my roommate's older sister. She has feelings for me too. We're both trying to do the right thing. We're both failing in slow motion. We haven't decided what happens next. Maybe she'll find her own place soon, and the distance will cool everything off. Maybe we'll talk to Ethan, risk the fallout, and try to build something real and honest out of this mess. Or maybe we'll spend a little longer in this in-between space, pretending we're just friends, while every shared glance says otherwise. I don't know. I just know that the line between right and wrong feels a lot blurrier when there's a real person on the other side of it. Someone who makes you feel seen, who makes the sideways life feel like it's finally facing forward. So yeah, that's my confession. I fell for my roommate's older sister after she moved in temporarily. I haven't touched her, but I'm pretty sure I've already crossed the line. And now I'm stuck here, trying to decide which promise matters more. The one I made to my best friend, or the one my heart keeps making every time she laughs in our kitchen. Part 2. I guess I should continue with the first time we actually crossed the line. Not the night we slept together. The kiss. Because that's really where everything snapped. It's a Thursday. Nothing special. Ethan's stuck at the office late because of some crisis after the layoffs, and it's just me and Hannah at home. I'm on the couch, half watching some stupid comfort movie I've seen 100 times. I've got a blanket, a bowl of popcorn, and exactly 0 plans to feel anything more complicated than mildly amused. She comes out of her room in leggings and an old college sweatshirt, hair in a loose ponytail, and asks, "What are we watching?" "Emotional Damage," I say, disguised as a romantic comedy. She smirks. "Perfect. Scoot over." She sits next to me. Not too close, not too far. Just that normal, safe distance we've carefully maintained ever since we both admitted we liked each other and then swore we'd be good. The movie starts. We joke, we make comments, we share popcorn. Feels normal, easy, like we're pretending nothing is sitting between us. And then the movie does that thing I hate. The main characters talk about the one moment that changed their lives, the one person they loved at the wrong time. Hannah goes quiet. On screen, someone says, "Have you ever met the right person at the wrong time?" She exhales slowly. God, that line needs to be banned from all movies. I glance at her. Too real. She keeps her eyes on the screen. Way too real. There's a beat of silence. I say lightly, "Right time, wrong person for me, usually." She gives me this small, tired smile. "Yeah, well, sometimes it's right person, wrong circumstances. Those are worse." My heart does that annoying stutter thing, because I know exactly what she's talking about, and I'm suddenly very aware of how close she actually is. Hypothetically, ask. She finally looks at me, really looks at me. Sure, hypothetically. The air shifts. The movie keeps playing, but it feels like it's in another room. The only thing I hear clearly is my own heartbeat. She pulls the blanket up around her shoulders, like a small shield. You ever feel like, if life were slightly different, you'd be with a very specific person right now? Yeah. I say quietly. I know that feeling. Our eyes meet and that's it. That's the moment. You know how, in stories, people say we just leaned in like gravity took over? I always thought that was cheesy. But now I get it. Because I couldn't tell you who moved first. 1 second we're just looking at each other. The next, there's this tiny tilt, this shared breath, and suddenly her face is closer. Too close. We shouldn't, she whispers. I know, I whisper back, but neither of us moves away. And then it happens. Our lips meet in this soft, hesitant, terrified kiss. Not the kind of kiss you give someone you're trying out. The kind that feels like a question you've been dying to ask for months. She tastes like popcorn and the cheap wine she had with dinner. Her hand lifts like she might push me away, and instead curls gently into my shirt. It lasts maybe 3 seconds, but everything inside me rewires in those 3 seconds. We pull apart at the same time, like we both woke up from the same dream. She stares at me, eyes wide. We can't do this. I know, I say, and I do. I really do. I'm sorry. She shakes her head, standing up so fast the blanket falls off her lap. No, I'm sorry. God, this is such a bad idea. My chest tightens. You're right. It was a mistake. The word tastes bitter coming out of my mouth. She wraps her arms around herself. We can't be like that. Not with Ethan. Not like this. Yeah. I say, because what else can I say? It won't happen again. She gives a quick, shaky nod, then disappears down the hallway to her room. The apartment suddenly feels too quiet, too big, and that 3-second kiss plays on repeat in my head until I fall asleep. We both call it a mistake. We both regret it, but neither of us can forget it. After that, things get weird. We're careful again, but it's a different kind of careful. Before the kiss, we were walking along the edge of something we weren't acknowledging. After the kiss, we know exactly where the edge is. I stop sitting next to her on the couch if I can help it. I sit in the armchair instead. When we pass in the hallway, we do this awkward, one of us flattens against the wall, shuffle so there's no chance of accidental contact. When we talk, I keep my eyes on anything else. The sink, the floor, my phone, anywhere but her mouth. But it doesn't help. Because now my brain is like, you know exactly what that feels like. She's quieter too. No more lingering in the kitchen in the mornings. No more late-night rants in the hallway. On the surface, we're polite, borderline distant. Underneath, everything is buzzing. The night we actually sleep together doesn't happen because of some big romantic gesture. There's no candlelight, no music, no dramatic storm. It happens because everything just builds. Ethan's job is chaos. He's out later and later, stressed and exhausted when he comes home. The whole apartment feels like it's holding its breath. I'm stressed from work too, and Hannah's schedule is insane. One night, around midnight, I'm in bed scrolling on my phone, pretending the blue light is going to solve my problems. The apartment's dark and quiet. There's a soft knock on my door. For a second, I think I imagined it. Then I hear it again. Hey, it's me. Her voice is barely above a whisper. I sit up, suddenly wide awake. Yeah, come in. The door opens slowly, and there she is, leaning against the frame. She's in an oversized t-shirt that hits mid-thigh and a pair of loose shorts. Her hair's down, slightly messy, like she's been tossing and turning. Sorry, she says. Did I wake you? No, I lie. I was just scrolling myself into brain damage. She gives a ghost of a smile, then hesitates. Can I sit? Yeah, of course. She steps in and closes the door behind her with this soft click that somehow feels very loud. She sits on the edge of the bed, facing away from me at first. Then she draws her knees up, wraps her arms around them, and stares at my wall like it has answers. What's up? I ask quietly. She exhale laughs, but there's no humor in it. I couldn't sleep. Thought maybe talking would help. About work stuff? Life stuff? Existential dread. Yes, she says. We both laugh a little, and some of the tension melts. She's quiet for a second, then says, do you ever feel like you're just waiting for yourself to catch up to your own life? Like everyone thinks you're more put together than you really are? All the time, I say. I keep waiting for whoever's in charge to realize they gave the life contract to the wrong person. She smiles at that, but it fades quickly. I keep thinking about that kiss, she says suddenly. My heart does a full panic somersault. Yeah, I say carefully. Me too. She chews her lip, still looking straight ahead. I meant it when I said it was a mistake, but I also didn't. I swallow. How do you mean? She finally turns to look at me, and her eyes are glossy in the dim light. It was a mistake because of the situation, because of Ethan, because I live here, because it's complicated. She pauses, then adds, voice softer. It wasn't a mistake because of you. Something in my chest cracks open. I shift closer without meaning to. I feel the same way, She laughs under her breath. Of course you do. That would have been way less dramatic if you didn't. We sit there, close but not touching, our knees almost bumping. She says, it's getting really hard to pretend I don't feel anything when we're in the same room. Yeah, I say. Same. And I hate that I've started dreading watching movies with you. She adds. That used to be my favorite part of the day. That hits me harder than I expect. Mine too. There's a long, heavy silence. Then she whispers, can I ask you something insanely unfair? I let out a breathy laugh. Sure. Why not? I'm already losing. She looks me in the eye. If Ethan weren't part of this, if he were just your roommate and I were just some woman you met, what would you want? Every honest part of me answers at once. You. I'd want you. Completely. But what comes out is a softer version. I'd want to be with you. No guilt. No hiding. Just us. Her shoulders sag with relief and sorrow at the same time. Yeah, she says. Me too. And there it is. The truth. Laid out between us. Bright and undeniable. We're both quiet for a moment. Then, very softly, she says, can I lay down? Just for a bit. I nod, my throat too tight to speak. We shuffle back, lying side by side on top of the covers, staring at the ceiling like we're waiting for it to fall. After a minute, she shifts closer, her shoulder brushing mine. My whole body goes tense, then slowly relaxes into the contact. Her hand finds mine, fingers lacing together. This is already too much, isn't it? Yeah, I whisper. Probably, but neither of us lets go. We stay like that for a while, just breathing in sync, hearts racing, saying nothing. The room feels suspended in time. Then she rolls onto her side to face me. I do the same. Our faces are inches apart. I can feel her breath on my skin. This is such a bad idea, she says. I know, I say. We're really consistent about those. She gives this tiny, nervous laugh. And then we're kissing again. There's no hesitation this time. No half-second of debate. It's like we both silently agreed that we were tired of fighting the same battle and losing. The kiss deepens. Her hand comes up to my neck. Mine finds the small of her back. The space between us disappears. At some point, she pulls back just enough to whisper, not here. We both know why. Ethan's room is down the hall. Even if he's not home, the idea of anything happening in my room feels like crossing an extra line. So we slip out of bed, out of my room and into hers. We close the door. We don't turn on the light. And we sleep together. I'm not going to pretend it was some perfectly scripted movie moment. It was messy and quiet and way too intense for two people who promised themselves they wouldn't do this. But it felt real, like exhaling after holding your breath for months. Afterward, we lie there in the dark, staring at the ceiling again, now from her bed. My brain is a mix of finally and oh no. She's the first to speak. This can't happen again, she says. Not harsh, just tired. I know, I say. We already messed up enough. We have to be careful, she adds. Ethan can't find out like this. If we ever tell him, it has to be on our terms. Not as some ugly surprise. Agreed, I say. We don't talk about what it means. We don't define it. We just agree, no more. No more nights like this. No more slipping down the hallway in the dark. We fall asleep eventually. I wake up before her, slip back to my room quietly, my heart pounding like I just pulled off a heist. And then the days start again. Life moves forward, dragging our guilt along behind it. The week after is strange. We're more careful than ever, but it's a different kind of careful now. Not don't cross the line. But we already did. Don't get caught standing on the other side. Around Ethan, we overcorrect. We're almost too normal, too chill. It's like we're both trying to win an Oscar for most casual person in a sitcom. Hey, how was work? It was fine. How was yours? Also fine. Nothing to see here, folks. But when Ethan's not around, the tension is brutal. We don't sleep together again. We barely even let ourselves be alone in a room with the door closed. But there are hugs that last a little too long, looks that linger, hands that brush and don't pull back immediately. We've crossed the point of no return emotionally, and we both know it. The worst part? There's a version of this where we tell Ethan, where we sit him down, ask for his trust, lay everything out, where we give him the respect of hearing it from us instead of stumbling onto it. We don't pick that version. We pick the version where we keep lying and hope it somehow magically works out. Spoiler, it doesn't. The night everything blows up, it starts stupidly. Ethan's getting ready to go out with some coworkers. He's in his room, rummaging through drawers, muttering something about losing his lucky hoodie. I'm in the living room, half listening, half on my phone. Dude, he calls out. Did you borrow my gray hoodie? The one with the stupid logo. I pause. Maybe? Check my room. I think it's on the back of my chair. On it, he says. I don't think twice about it. Why would I? He's been in my room 1,000 times. I hear him walk down the hall, door creak open, the muffled sounds of him moving stuff around. Then it goes quiet. Too quiet. A moment later, I hear his voice again. But it's different this time. Hey, he says, can you come here for a second? My stomach drops. It's the tone. Flat. Careful. Like he's trying very hard not to react to something. I tell myself I'm being paranoid. I put my phone down and walk to my room. He's standing next to my bed, hoodie in one hand. In his other hand is something small and silver. A hoop earring. One I've seen on Hannah 100 times. He doesn't say anything. He just holds it up slightly like he's showing me evidence in a trial. My brain blanks out for a full second. Then it sprints through every possible excuse and finds exactly 0 that don't make things worse. I found this under your nightstand, he says finally. His voice is calm. Too calm. I look at the earring. Then at him. Don't, he cuts in. Don't lie. Not right now. There's no anger in his tone yet. Just something worse. Disappointment. He looks around the room, like he's seeing it for the first time. The bed. The nightstand. The space where the earring was. The invisible outline of what must have happened. His jaw clenches. How long? My mouth is dry. It's not what you think. He laughs once, disbelieving. Oh, okay. That's a bold opening line. So my sister's earring just teleported under your nightstand. I inhale slowly. Can we talk in the living room? Please. He shakes his head. No, we're talking here, right where I found this. He stares at the earring, turning it between his fingers. I know this one, he says quietly. I helped her pick these out for her birthday. She wears them all the time. Or at least she did. Guess I know where one's been hanging out. My chest aches. Ethan. How long? He repeats. Louder this time. I could lie. I could say it was just a kiss. I could say it was one night. I could say it was an accident. But the truth is sitting in his hand. Cold and shiny and undeniable. Not long, I say. A few weeks. We crossed a line we shouldn't have. It wasn't planned. It just happened. His eyes snap up to mine. You slept with her? I freeze. We've said everything but that out loud. Yes, I say. Once. He laughs again, but there's no humor at all. Just once, huh? That's supposed to make me feel better. No, I say quickly. I'm not trying to spin it. I'm just telling you the truth. He stares at me, and I can practically see the math happening in his head. The late nights, the weird tension, the quiet conversations. And the kiss? He asks. How long before that? I blink. What? You think I don't notice when the vibe changes in my own apartment? He snaps. It didn't start with this earring. So when did it really start? I swallow hard. A while before that. But we tried not to act on it. We were trying to be respectful. You were trying? He repeats, eyes narrowing. Was this what trying looks like? He holds up the earring again like a tiny, glittering accusation. Before I can answer, we both hear the front door open and close. Hannah's voice floats down the hallway. Hey, I'm home. Sorry, long day. Traffic was a nightmare. She appears in the doorway, still shrugging off her bag, and stops dead when she sees us. Her eyes flick from Ethan to me to the earring in his hand. All the color drains from her face. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't have to. That moment of silence is all the confirmation he needs. You've got to be kidding me, he says, staring at her. Ethan, she starts. How long? He cuts in, whirling on her now. And don't give me the PR version. I want the real answer. She looks at me for half a second, then back at him. She straightens her shoulders, like she's bracing for impact. A few weeks, she says softly. Not that long. He lets out a sharp breath, somewhere between a laugh and a choke. Wow, you two really coordinated your stories. Huh. It's the truth, she says. We didn't plan this, okay? It just happened. And we've been trying to figure out what to do. What to do? He repeats slowly. Like, whether or not to tell me. Or just keep sneaking around in the place where I pay rent. It's not like that, I say, stepping forward. We weren't trying to disrespect you. You weren't, he snaps, turning back to me. Because from where I'm standing, my best friend and my sister were hooking up behind my back, in my own apartment, and lying straight to my face. Hannah flinches. We're not just hooking up. Oh, great, he says. That's so much better. She takes a small step into the room. I care about him, she says quietly. This isn't casual. It's not a joke. I wouldn't do that to you. You already did, he fires back. Both of you did. I feel the words like a punch. He looks between us, shaking his head. Do you have any idea how stupid this makes me feel? Everyone always joked about the rule, but I meant it. No messing with family. That was the one line. We know, I say. And we're sorry. I'm sorry. I should have shut it down before it got this far. That's on me. Hannah looks at me sharply. It's not just on you. I'm not some passive bystander in this. I chose this too. Yeah, that's what makes it great, Ethan says bitterly. I get to be betrayed twice in one convenient package. There's a long, heavy pause. Then he asks, quieter now, were you ever going to tell me? Or were you just going to keep letting me sit on the couch with you, joking around, while you two shared secret looks and memories I didn't know about? Hannah's eyes shine with tears. We were going to tell you, she says. We wanted to figure out what it was first, if it was serious, if it was worth blowing everything up for. I add, we didn't want to hurt you. He stares at us, incredulous. Newsflash. Mission failed. Silence settles over the room, thick and suffocating. Finally, he drops the earring on my nightstand with a soft clink. I can't be here right now, he says. I need space. I need time. I need to not look at either of you before I say something I can't take back. He brushes past us down the hall. Hannah, he says over his shoulder. I'll call you when I'm ready. Don't follow me. She stops in the doorway, hands clenched at her sides. Okay, she whispers. He grabs his keys, wallet, and leaves, slamming the front door behind him. The sound echoes through the apartment. And then it's just us. Me, Hannah, and the little silver earring shining on my nightstand, like the world's smallest wrecking ball. We stand there in the doorway for a long time, not looking at each other. Finally, she speaks first. Well, she says, voice shaking. That went about as badly as it possibly could have. I let out a humorless laugh. Yeah, we really nailed the not hurting him part. She turns to face me, eyes wet. We should have told him sooner. I know, I say. We kept saying we'd figure it out. That was just code for we're scared. She wipes at her face. Do you regret it? The question hangs in the air. I know what she's really asking. Do I regret her? Us. That night in her room? I shake my head slowly. No, I regret lying. I regret how he found out. I regret making him feel like this. But you? No, I don't regret you. She closes her eyes, like that hurts and heals at the same time. Same, she says. God, same. We stand there in the ruined quiet of my room, knowing nothing is simple anymore. We got what we wanted for a moment. A kiss, a night, the feeling of finally stepping into something that felt right. And in the process, we shattered the one thing we were both trying so hard to protect. Ethan's trust.